Hey, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna talk about top 5
best 2-in-1 laptops.
Starting at number 5.
Samsung Galaxy Book. The Samsung Galaxy Book 3 Pro 360 is built with an Intel Core i7-1360p processor, 16GB of RAM, and 512GB of SSD storage. Its 16-inch, tube 800x 1800 pixel resolution AMOLED display with a 16:10 aspect ratio and a 120Hz refresh rate is absolutely stunning to behold, managing an 85.2% coverage of the DCI-P3 color gamut and a brightness of 380 nits. Its combination of brightness, color, and high resolution should be fantastic for artists who need to go in-depth with accuracy. Our reviewer was also impressed by the Samsung Galaxy Book 3 Pro 360's keyboard, with its chiclet keys having more travel to reduce the soreness of shallow boards. And if you need a number pad on your laptops, you'll love its inclusion here. But what especially makes a laptop great for travel is its physical portability. The Samsung Galaxy Book 3 Pro 360 might be a tad heavier than some of the other options on this list, but that's because it is a 16-inch 2-in-1. Its dimensions are 14 by 9.9 by 0.5 inches and 3.6 pounds, which is a shockingly low weight for a product of this size. One sacrifice you'll have to make, though, is in power efficiency. On the Laptop Mag battery life test, which involves continuous web surfing over Wi-Fi at 150 nits, it lasted an underwhelming 7 hours and 46 minutes. This is below our recommended 9 to 10 hours, and it's easily the laptop's biggest flaw. If you're keen on having a 2-in-1 laptop that can last long on the go, we do not recommend this one.
Coming at number 4.
Lenovo ThinkPad. The Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Fold model that we reviewed comes built with an Intel Core i7-1260U, 32GB of RAM, 1TB of SSD storage, and a 16.3-inch OLED display at 2560x2024 pixel resolution. Of course, the main selling point of this device is that it's foldable. If you're unsure what that means, it essentially has the ability to act as a laptop with a keyboard magnetically attached to the deck, and if you remove the keyboard, you can extend it out into a single, full-size tablet. This means most people aren't going to need this laptop, but for those that do, our reviewer claimed that it's arguably the best foldable laptop available right now. It's shockingly thin and light, coming in at just 2.9 pounds in tablet mode and 4.3 pounds with the keyboard and stand attached. Its design allows for a compelling all-in-one use case. You can turn the laptop into a makeshift monitor and then detach the keyboard to emulate a quick desktop setup in no time at all. Considering it's only 4.3 pounds altogether, it can easily fit most bags and is perfect for on-the-go workers who prefer larger space for their projects.
At number 3.
Lenovo Yoga Book. Not to be confused with its sibling the Yoga 9i Gen 8, the Lenovo Yoga Book 9i boasts a unique design even among 2-in-1s. It features two 13.3-inch 2800 by 1800 OLED touch displays with a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard and even includes a folio cover and the Lenovo digital pen. You can use each display independently or together and orient them vertically like a book or horizontally Nintendo DS style. While it's a bit expensive for a 2-in-1 at $1,999, you get a lot of power and performance for the price, not to mention that unique dual display setup. The Yoga Book 9i includes a 13th Gen Intel Core i7, 16GB of RAM, a 512GB SSD, and integrated Intel Iris Xe graphics. It would have been nice to see a dedicated GPU here, but the integrated graphics are enough for most tasks. The only area where they might fall short is animation and motion graphics. The Yoga Book 9i was just shy of our 7,767 premium laptop average on Geekbench, scoring 7,765. The dual OLED displays passed our colorimeter test with flying colors, covering 136.5% of the DCI-P3 color gamut on the top display and 136.7% on the bottom display. This easily pulls ahead of competitors like the MacBook Air M2, 75.5%, and Asus ZenBook 17, 108.5%, but the Lenovo Yoga 9i, 142.1%, which is our number one pick for a 2-in-1, cannot be defeated. The brightness could be better, though, coming in at 335 nits on the top display and 344 nits on the bottom display, lower than the 392 nits average for this category. The MacBook Air M2, 489 nits, and Yoga 9i, 353 nits, were brighter, but the ZenBook, 323 nits, was just a tad dimmer.
Number 2 of my list.
HP Envy X360. The HP Envy X360 2-in-1 benefits from its powerful performance and incredible display, all inside a laptop that is as affordable as $850. It's built with an AMD Ryzen 7 7730U processor, 16 GB of RAM, 1 TB of SSD storage, and a 15.6-inch 1920x 1080-pixel OLED touchscreen. Although it's under $1,000, this laptop has a design with an alluring luster that cannot be denied, featuring a uniform, edgeless look thanks to its rectangular hinges and a lid that feels premium to touch. It also delivered decent budget performance scores with its AMD Ryzen 7 7730U processor that achieved a multi-core score of 7,748 on the Geekbench 5.5 overall performance test. The Inspiron 16 hit a phenomenal 128.1% coverage of the DCI P3 color gamut, which is way above the 85.5% category average. Its brightness of 378 nits is also quite good, likely offering more than enough luminescence for outdoor use. This is also above the 353 nit category average. And thankfully, its SSD speed performed surprisingly well for a laptop at this price, managing a transfer rate of 1,245 megabytes per second.
And number 1.
HP Spectre X360. Our review called the HP Spectre X360 14, 2024, a near-perfect laptop, with our very own Rami Tabari going as far as to say he'd buy it himself. With a powerful Intel Core Ultra 7 155H processor, 32 GB of RAM, 2 TB of SSD storage, and 11 hours of battery life packed into a 14-inch, 2.8K OLED touchscreen. To top it all off, this absolutely beast is somehow only $1,858, and while that isn't necessarily cheap, it's a pretty impressive degree of power for a configuration this beefy. Otherwise, we were impressed by its sleek design, stunning OLED panel, bouncy keyboard, powerful speakers, and 4K webcam. The Spectre covered 85.8% of the DCI P3 color gamut, and while it is below the average premium laptop, 98.5%, it was enough to destroy the ThinkPad, 70.9%, Swift, 79.1%, and MacBook, 81.3%. And coming in with 366 nits of brightness, the Spectre could be brighter and doesn't meet the category average, 431 nits. The ThinkPad, 452 nits, Swift, 374 nits, and MacBook, 558 nits, outshined it.
Check out this video description for latest price and more informations. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and stay tuned.